What does a deceased dog have anything to do with knowing that my husband was the one? Well, back in 2016, 2017, I worked for a dog kennel, and that was where they boarded dogs most of the time. But every now and then they'd have a rescue that came in. And so there was this dog that I fell in love with. And after I no longer worked there anymore, that dog was adopted out and it slipped out of the new owner's home and went missing. And so I loved that dog. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go look for this dog. And so I told my boyfriend, who is now my husband, that I was going to go put out flyers and everything to look for this dog. So I printed up the flyers and I was headed out, and he was like, "You're not going by yourself." And I was like, "Oh, okay, you want to go help me to find this dog that you've never met? Okay, whatever." So he went with me. He didn't want me to be out, going places by myself. And so we actually drove into the area where she went missing, the dog went missing. And as we were driving through, I was, fixing the flyers and everything, kind of looking down and getting ready to hop out of the vehicle so I could put them up on the different telephone poles and everything. And so whenever I did that, he says, "What did she look like again?" And so I told him, and I was like, "Can you just help me put up these flyers?" And I knew that he was hesitant, and I didn't understand at the time why. And so whenever we drove back through, he said, "We're going to drive back down this way for a minute." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, I said, "Why?" And he said, "I saw her." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So whenever we were coming through, he said, "Look down there, look down there." And as I looked down there, he looked this way to confirm that it was her. And so what he did was he drove down the road and he parked on the side of the road and he said, "You need to stay here." And I said, "Okay." And whenever I saw in the rearview mirror that he was carrying her lifeless body back to the truck, it was then that I realized that he wanted me to look this way so that I didn't see her this way. And he didn't have the guts to tell me that she had already passed away. And so I know it seems silly, but that was the day that I realized that he would protect my heart forever.